Hi and welcome to my page. This is me still exploring Ghana. Follow me to visit Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park.
Hi everyone, good afternoon from Ghana. So today I'm visiting the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park. I'm here. So I just bought my ticket and have gotten access to this place.
So once you arrive, you buy your ticket depending if you're a Ghanaian, a foreign student studying in Ghana, or if you're a foreigner that is visiting this place. So I just bought my ticket and entered. I waited for a few minutes so that I could join the next tour, and we were assigned a tour guide that told us stories about this place.
To honor the memory from the legacy of the very first president of Ghana, Osagifo from Kwame. Now, before the independence, this whole park was called the Polo Grounds. It was called the Polo Grounds because our colonial masters were the British. They paid for their rights. So this part was only accessible to the blacks were not allowed. But when Nkrumah was looking for a grounds to gather the people of Ghana, he deliberately chose this path to spite them. Okay. Or better to tell them that look here, they have taken back our land. So exactly where his bronze statue is, where he stood and made the declaration on the 5th of March 1957. Now this park houses five historic. Then we have the mausoleum where you discover two tombs. Then we have the museum where you find some belongings of Asadi. Then we have the audio visual gallery. Now in there you watch a video of Asadi for declaring Ghana independence. You'll also find many of the texts inscribed all over the world. The final place is house there called Freedom River. Now who was Nkrumah? Nkrumah was born on the 21st of September 1909. He attended the Roman Catholic Elementary School. Now, due to his performance in school, he became a pupil teacher just at the age of 16 years. He had developed a lot of passion, and so because of that, he enrolled at the Achimota Training College. When he was done, he went back. Now, he was fortunate enough to have won a scholarship to study at the Lincoln. So at Lincoln, he got a degree in economics and sociology. Whilst at Lincoln, he taught history and African languages as well. Then he also served as the president of the African Students Association of America and Canada. From there, he moved to University of Pennsylvania to get a master's. He got a master's in philosophy and education. From there, he moved to England to study at the England School of Economics. But he was there for just a semester because he had become so active in Pan African politics. Now, back in Ghana at that time, some elite individuals had come together to form a group. Now, they had a common goal. Their goal was to fight for the independence of Ghana. But when that group was formed, that group was their national selection. Now, that group was called the United Heritage Convention. They were also known as the Big Six. Now, when Nkrumah joined the Big Six, he realized that even though the group wanted independence, he realized that their approach was quite different from his approach. Now, they wanted independence as a progressive way, like let's dialogue, let's sit down, let's discuss. But Nkrumah was more radical. Let's go on campaigns, let's go on demonstrations, let's go on protests. That was Nkrumah for you. So because of that, he broke away from them to form his own political party in 1949 called the Convention People's Party, CPP. Their slogan was Forward Ever, Backwards Never. So that's the posture of the statue right. Now, when he formed the party, he went on several demonstrations. We continued to form little groups They went on more demonstrations. Really, at a point, it became a disturber. In one of their protests, they had a placard that read, "Tell government we're danger." But when the British saw that, they arrested him, charged him. Oh, you're welcome. They arrested him and charged him for treason. So he was sentenced to 3 years in jail. You know the jail shop TV up the road here. Now, whilst in jail, the group he had formed grew wilder. The British felt that probably the only way to calm them down was to allow Nkrumah's name to be part of the candidates running for that particular election. But little did they know he was going. Spending 3 years in jail. He only spent 1 year, 2 months in jail. He went to the 1950s. He was released in 1951 as the leader of the national movement. In 1952, he was made the prime minister of Ghana. He continued the struggle when finally, on the 6th of March 1957, he managed to gain independence for Ghana. Now, in that same year, Nkrumah got married to one beautiful woman from Egypt. Her name was Fatia. Now, at that time, Nkrumah also wanted to unite this Sub-Saharan we have countries like Tunisia, Morocco, Egypt. Now, the similarities among them is their color, their face. So they feel they are not black, like they are not African. Now, Nkrumah felt that going out of Ghana to marry from one of these was a way of bringing them together. Already, his main agenda was to unite the whole of Africa. Now, at that time, the president of Egypt was called Gamal Nasser. Now, Gamal Nasser had a niece called Fasia Reed. So he gave out Fasia to be married to Asadi. So you can see that their marriage was consensual. So they got married December that same year. They have 3 children. Their first child was named after the president. It's called Gamal Nkrumah. Then their second child is called Samia Nkrumah. We all know Gamal lives in Egypt, the journalist. Then we have Samia Nkrumah. She is about she's in Ghana, she's a politician. She was here last, she comes here often. And then we have Sophie Nkrumah. He was in the US. Now, before Nkrumah traveled overseas to study, he had a child with one woman called Madonna. He only had a son with her. That son was called Professor Emeritus Kwame Nkrumah. Fortunately, Professor died in the year 2024 after pediatrician. He rested at the Polytechnic Hospital, meaning that Nkrumah had 4 children. Now, on the 24th of February 1960, Nkrumah was invited for a peace summit. Can you hear me? Okay. Nkrumah was invited for a peace summit in Vietnam. So he tried to sing the lyrics. When he got to Hanoi in China, information reached him that a part of his resistance, now that group called themselves the National Liberation Council, they overthrew Nkrumah's government. So because of that, Nkrumah was no more the president of the country. Now he had to go on exile in a country called Guinea, but the capital is Conakry. President at that time was called Ahmed Kouchoukouri. Now Nkrumah had a very good relationship with Ahmed Kouchoukouri, so much that he named his last son Tito Nkrumah after the presidency. He was actually welcomed as the co-president, who means to meaning that the two of them ruled in together. So Nkrumah actually lived in Guinea and ruled in Guinea until 1971 when he was diagnosed with prostate cancer. He traveled all the way to America for menstrual treatment. Unfortunately, he passed away on the 24th of April 1970. Now, when he passed away, his body was taken back to Guinea. Buried. But 3 months down the line, his mother demanded that the body of her son be brought down and took the body all the way to the Western Beach, a town called April Falls. That's where he came from. So the body was there for close to 20 years. I mean, people went there to view the body and open casket. Now, when this whole place was put together, the body then also, they realized that it was beginning to decay. So it was transferred into a normal wooden coffin and brought down to the mausoleum to be buried. Now, in that same year, during the coup, Fafe had to return to Egypt with her children because it wasn't safe anymore. Now, she passed away on the 31st of May 2007 out of Now, before she passed away, she made a wish that she wants to be buried next to her beloved husband. So her body was also flown down from Egypt and buried in the mausoleum. So it means that the mausoleum houses the tomb of Osajisu and the two slaves that are Fatia and Nkrumah. Now, when Nkrumah's body was brought close to be buried, behind you can see some traditional home builders. The bronze statue, they are called the traditional home builders. They are numbered seven on both sides. Seven usually means perfection or completion. Now, these horn blowers were here for 7 days. They were blowing the horn, announcing the death of the final. It's just like when you have a chief arrival, you have a traditional horn blowers blowing to announce the arrival and everything. The same way these guys were here. Now, when you look at the far, now the water fair, the water you see, water is life, and we always say that Nkrumah will never die. His legacy will memory continue to live. Now, when you look at the far end, you can see a man in a smoke playing the local guitar, and the other also playing the trumpet drum. So all Nkrumah meant to say was that it didn't matter whether you came from the northern part of Ghana or from the southern part of Ghana, we are all one people. Mind you, his main agenda was to unite the whole of Africa. And before he could achieve that, he needed to unite the country. Now, before we move, if you look at the structure of the mausoleum, now it looks like a truncated. First of all, it was designed by a Ghanaian called John Arthur. It was built using Italian marbles. Now the structure looks like a truncated tree, like a tree that has been cut. That's meaning Nkrumah could not fulfill his dreams, or his dreams were cut short. Now a closer look reveals a sword that has been put into the ground. Now, usually in our traditional settings, when a farmer goes to farm, inspired, he'll find himself a tree, he'll put a sword in the ground, which means peace, and then he take a good rest under the tree. So we believe that Osajifo, just like the farmer after a hard day's work, is taking a good rest under his tree, which is the mausoleum. So we'll go in there, have a look at the trees, and then we'll continue the tour. When we are done, you come back and take some photos. Okay.
After the stories, we are taken to go see the tomb and also to the museum, but
Yeah.
there, videos and audio recordings were not allowed.
Hi, hi, hi. So I just finished exploring Kwame Nkrumah Park and now going over to my next location for today.